Alright, welcome to this live stream. Let's make sure we're in tuning. Oh yeah. Just a little bit. Yes, sir. I think I've recognized recently. For one, I'm stoked to get my hands on a really dope portable tripod. There's really dope portable tripods that one can invest in. And of course, I've been thinking about getting a quality streamer light. Imagine this, like I was looking back a lot of my footage and I'm like, when I'm busking, and I'm like, man, I don't like the lighting. The lighting's very jarring and unnatural because maybe the way it's like POV'd from the camera mount. But if I were to get just some sort of stream light to just illuminate that place, which is, what stream lights are for, I think I could fix that problem very quickly. Very, very quickly. Welcome to this live stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes. Experimenting, made another loop, also in D sharp, just about a minute ago. Similar to what we were doing, but of course we did a duo vocal loop. So we did the same thing where we're, doing vocals into our tone amp, the microphone side of our guitar, and then of course popped it on a loop. So we created another loop, and it feels so easy to create really good loops with this kind of dynamic. Here, it's like a backtrack of vocals that I just create, just by like. It's so easy. Let us apply some rosin, drink this cacao, and just kind of jump into action. Aslam. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Blessings from Canada to wherever you are at, friends. Let's begin this session by burning some ritual incense, as we do. Maybe just doing a little bit of quick meditation. I don't know. We're just going to hop in to whatever feels resonant here. Because it's the morning. We don't usually stream a whole lot in the morning, but it kind of hit us. We were just like, word. What if we so actively were to stream and busk in the morning? Like, how obvious, how dope and clear cut would it be to, of course, it's so obvious, right? Busk and stream. If, say, like we went out to a place and we're like, yo, let's do this in the morning, or just like full of cacao, full of energy, full of, theobromine. What a thought. What an idea. Usually when we're streaming and busking, it's like evenings and we're just kind of like zapped, right quick. But the idea is, what if, of course, just doing this full of caffeine, well, theobromine. It feels like simply a logical choice, I would say. 1 second. the one. That's the note we gotta go for. Sweet. You made a YouTube Shorts video that I liked and was listening on a loop, but then removed it from your feed, and I can't find it anymore. Oh, word. Did I? Did I actually, though? Interesting. Thank you, Aurora. Thank you, thank you. My genetic heritage is my genetic heritage. Thank you, ancestors, for the genes. I made a YouTube short video that I liked. I was listening. It wasn't the recent one, no. Removed from your feed, and I can't find it anymore. I don't think... I haven't removed any shorts, truthfully. I wonder. Huh. Yeah, I haven't removed any shorts, truthfully. They just chill. It's very rare that I do so. I'm wondering, which one is it? I'm curious, Chad. If it's, or Sied, not Chad, yeah. I'm curious which short you're talking about, if you can recall. Because yeah, I don't really remove shorts. I just let them ride the wave. Been getting a lot of positive responses, though, from the short that I made yesterday, which, honestly, I just made, like, in 5 minutes before I went to blueberry picking, because I was like, man, I'm running out of time, but I want to create some stuff, and I did, and I was like, whoa, that really landed, because, you know, we had this, like, clear-cut epiphany to be like, you know what, D sharp is the move. Are you a shadow force? A shadow force? A shadow force? Wow, we're all shadow forces, dog. Let's be real here. We're all shadow, we're all light and dark. So we all can be forces of the shadow. Absolutely. It kind of makes sense, I guess. I dress very, like, you know, mysterious and dark typically. You know, I got like dark hues of like acid wash stuff. I don't know why, that's always how I've dressed. At least the last like 10 years. I think, truthfully, the way one can dress is almost like a very deep representation of many things. At least, you know, whatever it is you want it to be. But I've noticed, like, I think part of the reason I dress very, like, dark and, you know, dark hues, dark reds, blacks, golds, acid washes, is because I'm a firm believer in honoring the shadow of ourself, you know, the shadow of humans. Like, it's almost like I remember when I was younger, I dressed very, like, you know, intensive and, you know, very punk rock and whatever, because I loved people to crack open their models, you know, challenge their models of what people perceive people as. You know, people would see this guy dressed as like a punk rocker, very intense, like, whoa, who is this dude? And they talk to me and I'd be very, like, you know, chill and very mellow and very, like, open-hearted. And I like that. I was like, okay, I want people to break open their models of what they might perceive someone to be and step outside of it. So I think even to this day, I like, you know, I do lots of like sound healing and I'm very like, you know, chilling most of the time. But I love to dress like very like almost paradoxical, because I think it's very healthy to evoke that and honor the shadow of ourself. It's like, even if you're, you know, a blissful, you know, euphoric person or whatever's going through your... We are all, of course, are polarity. We're polarized beings. And we can honor that, right? We can honor the shadow, while also still being happy and, you know, living a blissful life. Anyway, that's just some 2 cents of that. This is Neg Champa dupe. I don't know why it's called that exactly, but Neg Champa dupe. Extraordinary scent. If you ever get the chance to find Neg Champa dupe, I think it's like a Nepal thing. Very incredible scent. It's quickly become one of my favorites. It's very pure Neg Champa, but it has like a something else that makes it like, it's like a Neg Champa, of course, you know, I think it's a, what is it? It's a blend of a certain type of plant, and I guess dupe is like a different type of Neg Champa. It's beautiful though. It's a very beautiful one. All right, let's get back to experimentation. I don't know why exactly, but I try to, for whatever reason, I notice myself intuitively say the words or sing the words, sun a lot, sa a lot. I don't know exactly what is the significance. Of course, oh a lot. You know, oh, like so, oh, son, sun. What is it? Say. It's weird. It's like not really a conscious thought, but it's like there's a very beautiful way that they weave into something. They have a good resonance pattern, but I think there's also a very deep layer in there. Let's try to maybe see how that sounds blended. We're gonna keep that loop as it's looping, and maybe try to add on that loop. I don't know. I'm feeling the vocal stuff. I'm trying to see what's gonna go through. It's very subtle. It's very subtle. Yeah. Gotta aim that proper. Gotta aim that guy right quick. As may heart of sound like Om is the sound soul of the universe. Yes. Om is very much, these sounds make sense, right? I think these sounds have a reason they sound as they do. Yeah, like what is it? You know, in many different languages. Even like the word ashe, right? You know, ashe, I've always found when I originally said ashe when I was on like DMT, you know, a while ago, long while back when I discovered the word ashe and decided to use it as a moniker, I didn't say it like ashe, you know, as it's pronounced, as like the African Yoruba. I said it like ashe, like shoo. It was just like it was like it was just like a breath. It was like breathing, you know, it was like a breath that flowed through. It's like, shit. It was just so natural, right? It's like, it felt like, I noticed that a while back when I was getting into like vocal sound healing words. Every single word you can think of, like actually, where is my book? I have the Law of One around here. I think it's right here. Yeah, there it is. It's interesting because I remember for a while what I was doing was I was going through the Law of One, right? You know, it's the Law of One, great book. Egyptian Ra, God guy, speaking to a conduit. And there's some interesting stuff he says. But I got to this place where I was like, man, you know, you can like you can enunciate creatively any word. Like vocalists, they do this all the time, right? You know, you hear like modern rock, alternative rock vocalists, like Adam Gontier is very good at this, of course. And Jared Leto. You know, they're enunciating words in weird ways. Like they're taking like, you know, instead of saying what is it? Like they're stretching words like to like yeah, yeah, like they're stretching around vocals and vowels, right? They're stretching around vowels basically. And what I've been realizing a lot lately is vowels. Vowels are also sound healing tones. Like all the vowels, A, I, O, U, are all the chakra tones. They're all aligned with the chakras, when you use them as such. And you can stretch around, basically, what I'm saying. You can play around with every word. Like, say you're like, I want to say sacred. Sacred doesn't have to be pronounced sacred, right? You could say, like, sa, like that's the vowels, right? That was sacred. It's like sa, it's like you're using like toning, like ancient toning, to splice up the raw enunciation of words and vowels and tones, because words don't have to be like one dimensional as English is pronouncing them. Words don't have to just be like, you know, I am saying a word. Words can be multidimensional, as they should be. Because obviously in multiple languages, words are spoken in any different way. Like, we all have different accents and people say the same word so many different ways. And you can just experiment with that, where you don't have to say a word. It can be like, like love. It can be like I don't know, that was just whatever, but you can just play around. You can make it super weird and abstract and ancient sounding. And of course, I don't know if you guys are familiar with ancient proto-English, right? I talked about this a little briefly. This is kind of what's inspired me to get into Tibetan throat singing, is ancient English, proto-English. Inspired from Wagal. I don't know if you guys know Wagal, really dope artist. He basically does the Tibetan throat singing and chanting in ancient proto-English. It takes the weird words that are ancient proto-English ancestors. So the European English language that was spoken something like 5,000 years ago, that we don't really know if it was really how they spoke, but we extracted it by deconstructing language all the way back to the ancient Proto-English. And yeah, they speak really weird. Like everything is like super weird, and they like use a lot of like what is it, like like almost like weird like noises that sit in our nasal palate. And like, what else do they do? It's like they use like high resonance palettes and like click, almost like click noises. It's like in their pronunciations, and super weird, but sounds beautiful. And it's also like very different. And the way they're spelt, if you ever look at ancient English European proto, it's like one word has like H, 3, little 3, 2, HR, big little 2, like really weird, long stretched out words. It's pretty cool. Super dope. Super echoey. Let's try something here, I'd say. Listen to Moody Blues. You will find Om. Moody Blues. Sounds familiar, but I don't know, dog. I don't know. The word Jesus has power too. I mean, I'm sure it does. I personally don't resonate. Like I'm gonna stop you there, full tilt. But I'm sure it does, dog. As Gregorian chant vibe. Yes. I gotta say, like, I love Gregorian chants. And separating it from Christian, type ideology, it's like, I think it outdates, all chanting outdates any sort of modern religious ideology. Not to go down that rabbit hole, but in all essence, I love the sort of Gregorian chant type stuff. I don't know why, it's just so beautiful. It's beautiful. Namely because, the male voice, like I'll be honest, for many years, the female voice is very enchanting, I find, to me. It's like angelic, it's like the female voice accesses angelic realms very naturally. And the male voice does, of course, as well. But I found it's almost like a very particular key, particular octaves, particular styles and sounds and resonance patterns I feel is natural for the male voice. And it's different, of course. It's very very unique. Like, a lot of like it's like, yeah, Gregorian. But let's try something different now. So we saved that loop. Let's do another loop. I'm going to try doing a loop that's going to be really slow. Really slow. That's magic. That's magic. Wow, that's super cool. That is super cool. Gotta save that. So slow, so gentle. Wow. I could see that being very good. Okay, let's save that. Oh yeah, that's so good. Gentle, very gentle. The siren is Gregorian, very nice. This is probably my favorite loop now, officially. The slower I get, the better I like it. Imagine just playing this. I'm just busking this in the middle of like a freaking busy street festival, or I don't know. I'm just penetrating the paradigm completely. Just penetrating the paradigm. People are like, what? Gotta get one of those bow things you use. You should, bro. You should. Add some birds chirping sound in the background. Yeah, I actually have some bird chirping downloaded, brother. Honestly, this could be this cadence. I might take this loop and make this to a long ass sound journey, because I know a lot of you guys have been requesting like long, slow sound journeys. This could easily be like a 15-minute sound journey. So who knows? Maybe this is where this is going. It resembles even the echo of a G chant. You've set that up perfectly. Hell yeah! I don't even know. All I did was just like, let's go, super slow, D sharp, really slow, and then I was like, let's make the vocals match that. Yeah, this is nice. I'm proud of this. And then of course, now we gotta match the pan flute to this slow. Little trickier. Pan flute, I gotta like breathe really deeply to not fuck it up. This rocks. Molding it. You can name it Freebird. That's a great name as any. I don't think so though. Damn, that's so chill though. That's like so crispy. So crisp. That's a banger. Keeping that again. Save that. What else? What else can we do here? So we got it very gentle. Very gentle. Mistakes really matter though. I gotta make no mistakes. I'll just gotta make, yeah. Do I just do regular standard tuning or alter tuning? Right now we're in D sharp, open D sharp. I typically sit a lot in E major, yeah, E, open E, right? But today or yesterday, I had an epiphany. I was like, you know what? I like to scale in the key of, D sharp frequently, which is, the minor scale that's kind of like adjacent to E, respectively. So I was like, yeah, of course. It's so obvious. I just tune everything a step down, or half a step. Yeah, half a step. Right down, and then bang, I'm in open D sharp. And what I've noticed, the reason I did that is because I like the key of D sharp, but the key of D sharp also vocally, in my opinion, is more resonant with my voice, and it's also more resonant with the pan flute. That was kind of what we were going for, because E major is not that easy to access on the pan flute, just the way it's constructed. So, Let's try something. Let's try something. I don't know if that's gonna even pick up. I don't think it's registered. I don't think it registered. No, it didn't register. That's the thing with this setup is the low notes don't register. That's why I need to get a specialized kind of like, you know, dynamic mic or something. So I can, don't mind me just resetting my, my loop pedal. But yeah, I think I need to get a perfect mic so I can do like chants and low sounds. I might just do them for fun anyways. You know, just like... And of course, we can do double layers of chords. We go to like, oh, maybe let's see how we can do this. Yes, that's what we want to be. Let's do some low chords, maybe. And then, I don't know, maybe do this. like this. Well, that was nice. I think I'm gonna use that as a clip or something. I don't know. Bro, imagine I did a song with ICP. That would be crazy. Huh. Look into electric pan flute and find a way to add reverb. It's a little jarring when it sounds so dry compared to the other sounds. The way to do that is to direct a pan flute into the guitar sound hole. That's how I historically do it. But yeah, the idea, this is the key thing to understand, is the pan flute only sounds jarring through your audio microphone, unfortunately. So good things to keep in mind, you know, as you, the receiver, to the natural ear, it doesn't sound that way. In the real world, when a person hears it, it doesn't sound that way. It's only because it's clipping, the high notes clip in relation to how the audio or the microphone on the camera is picking it up. And that's very difficult to avoid, I'll be honest. Because, you know, they're penetrating sounds. It's a resonance pattern. Like, yeah, there's very little ways to avoid that. Honestly, because doing it through a microphone wouldn't change that. What I might need to do is somehow, I don't know, like somehow apply a gate. You know, it's known as a gate on like an audio interface. I don't know how exactly. If I can somehow maybe download some sort of like audio gate and place that on my phone somehow. Like somehow like a mastering device for my phone's microphone, like a gate, that would make it so, yeah, when the pan flute goes above, you know, the sound level, it clips or is going above, because I can't really control that. But in the real world, the ear registers it differently. Like the acoustics of how the pan flute, because the pan flute obviously is an instrument that's meant to be played in valleys. It's not meant to be played like, you know, in a microphone in front of a mic. It's supposed to be played in a valley. That's how it's kind of historically, you know, you're like, at least that's what I've noticed. In forests, valleys, big echoing things, because it echoes for miles. Like those high notes you hear that kind of clip, those are meant to be heard from miles and miles away. It echoes. It goes very far. It travels. So I don't know. Maybe if I can somehow download a gate and apply that to my phone's mic, that might be a good solution. Because I don't know if I like the natural sound of the pan flute. You can, what I can do, you know, what I do, but it's tricky, is I like what I'm doing with my microphone, my vocals. I can basically dial the pan flute. But the thing is, the nuances of the pan flute are very tricky. I gotta like bend into certain angles, and I gotta use technique while also trying to direct it into this. I don't know. There's probably a way. But I don't know. Again, pan flutes are meant to be listened to in a very specific way. The low chants sound good. Thank you, dog. Look on musical Willy Wonka. Sure. Whatever floats your goat, bro. You just need a setup that records direct. Right. Like the one you use for vocals. Right. Yeah, well, the thing I'm using for my vocals actually is, yeah, I'm doing my vocals into the sound hole that is capturing it through the preamp. So the preamp is mastering it. And then even further, it's getting mastered through the audio interface that I'm plugged into. So, yeah, the potential would be maybe get a secondary mic that's more specialized for smaller wind instruments and somehow add vocal effects like a preamp and then stream the pan flute. But that's the thing is, again, that then that would require that I would have to have a microphone set up in a way, and I would have to angle the pan flute notes without, compromising the integrity of the pan flutes. I don't know. I think what some musicians do is they take a little clip-on mic, like a really high quality condenser mic, like a really high quality one, and they clip it like somewhere on the pan flute. That's what I've seen musicians do. And then they'll use this wireless condenser mic, and then they'll hook it up to like an interface. Um, it's possible, but again, when we're talking about trying to feed it through an audio of a phone, it's a different story. I don't know. Good things to think about. Again, to the real world, to my ear, like hell, it sounds pretty good, but I hear you. It probably sounds a little bit. I don't know though. When I was doing this yesterday, I'm curious. Maybe it's like you're listening on a microphone or a speaker that's like a mono speaker or something, or stereo speaker. Because when I listened to my my music that I played on my short, the pan flute was flowing through. It sounded very natural. It actually didn't sound like it clipped. If I'm not mistaken. Like if I go back to the short that I did yesterday, the pan flute sounded pretty balanced. Yeah, all I can think of is, again, the way I've done this historically is like if I do this. If I do this, we're like, all right, we're gonna play the pan flute, and then we're hitting a loop. The best way I can do this. Oh. Is, yeah, I do it through the sound hole. I think it's kind of clipping out a bit. Yeah, I don't know. Food for thoughts. Tough crowd. Well, that was I love this loop. I enjoyed this. I used to have a mic called the Blue Yeti. Oh, I've heard of that actually. Yeah. Running stream background be magical. Yeah, I have actually, I think on my laptop here, I have a downloaded stuff. Let me see if I can open it. It might have need to be re-downloaded. What do we have here? Oh. Oh, no, that's the sound healing. Yeah, no, the stream definitely. I've been experimenting. I think I'm kind of I'm for it, but I'm also like, I think the sound of streams and birds is like a little bit different, but like streams and birds, it has a nice sort of ASMR effect, which I could probably play, especially when I'm doing these streams. I think it balances everything. But I think when I'm like performing or like, busking, it like competes for the sound a little bit. But I mean, it's I think done, if it's mastered properly, it could sound dope as fuck. There's this tree that never stops growing. There is. Huh. Nah, man, that sounded awesome, even through a tablet. Thank you. I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna listen back on my computer. Just hear how it all sounded, just out of curiosity. Because, the homie makes a good point. I'm gonna quickly just listen on my computer and see see how it sounds from your guys' end. So these are great things to think about. I don't know. when I was doing this yesterday or something, doing it for fun, and it lobby. So, let's try something different now. So we saved that one. So, you know what? I don't know. I think, in truth, I think it's actually, it sounds perfect, strangely. But the one thing you can do, and this is where it becomes a challenge, of course, but the pan flute itself, everything about the pan flute is kind of challenging. Um, the pan flute, you use attacks. To make notes more accessible, you use an attack. You know, you go two, like you direct an attack. And if you're really really locked in, you can play the notes without an attack because you do a diaphragm attack where you just kind of go like, I don't know, I didn't really do it right, but the idea is that I think what you're hearing more so that might be a little bit jarring in comparison is the attack. And I don't know, I listened it back, it actually sounded perfect. It actually sounded like exactly how it's supposed to sound. But the one thing one could do differently is instead of, you know, doing a note like, I can go like try to basically make it like a gentle stream of air that, you know, I've tried to play around with the past. Like, I think there's a difference between like versus like, that's a little bit out of key, but if you like, but all I'm saying is it takes extraordinary control and technique. Like the difference of like a gentle, playing the pan flute gently is way harder than playing the pan flute, well, with an attack. And, you know, you hear a lot of like concert pan flute players that are just like going nuts. You know, they're just going like, and just like launching through attacks, which sounds interesting. But that is actually so easy in comparison to controlled, very gentle, almost like more orchestral type flute sounds on a pan flute. But for me, I think that's where the pan flute shines, is gentle sounds. So I think I'll progress into that naturally. I'm going to progress into more gentle, controlled attacks on the pan flute. But then I have to be like really locked in, really warmed up, or else it's tricky. And a part of it too, and that's kind of part of what's so beautiful about the pan flute, is you have to be extremely relaxed. Like if you're tense, it's really difficult to play like really gentle, soft, beautiful, silky pan flute notes. So you got to be like extremely relaxed, like your whole body, your posture, you know, your diaphragm. It's like singing. It's like with singing. Singing, you also have to be very relaxed, typically. I don't know, but there's something to be said about kind of what I was saying a moment ago. It's like I think a good attack, or no, a good gate, a good vocal gate would be brilliant. I don't know exactly how it would work, but you know, studio producers, they do this all the time, right? Like if you're making electronic music, often what electronic producers do is they use gates, right? You know, it's like, oh, if something's going to go above a certain threshold, they put on a gate so it doesn't clip out at certain points. If I could get a hold of a gate, somehow apply that to my mic on my phone, I think I'd be in a really good place. I think what you're maybe hearing in the contrast would actually be nullified naturally. So it's something to look into. Because the idea is a preamp, right? The preamp that my guitar's plugged into, it's like a microphone as well as being a preamp. It naturally has a gate in it. Like the whole essence of what a preamp does, it's operating as a gate, right? It's like if I go like that's a little bit jarring, but if I do something that's like way above the threshold, because I'm plugged into an interface, because I have a preamp, it's acting as a gate, you know? So it's like kind of like it's lessening the attack a little bit. So it makes it still sound, you know, good to the ear. All right, let's try another loop. We have a few loops we've already created that I really like. One's really slow, one's normal speed, one's relatively slow. Let's try one maybe that's less slow, but it's like, you know, semi-slow. Maybe one that's fast and then goes slower and goes even slower. It progresses into slow. I think that'd be cool. 11:46. Come on. Oh, there we go. Let's try this. Oh, I already created a mistake. Let's give that a go. This is good. This is good. This would be perfect for a drum, I think. This is really good. I'm gonna save that. I like it. I really do. And of course, let's try something like. That was a good choice. That was a good choice. Whew, sick. That was the one. That yeah, that taught me a lot, I think, in the simple way where I think I'm gonna put on my coat because it's more natural than this. The shawl gets in the way. Oh, see, it's clipping about. This feels more natural. You know, I love how this coat, unlike my other coat that I used to have for many years, well, I have still, but this one fits like a suit. Like it genuinely fits me literally like a suit. It's like perfect. Fits me down to like it was made for me. Which makes it really easy to play guitar. It's like it's perfect, it's fitted. But yeah, what we learned there was pretty pristine, I would say. Very pristine. It's quintessentially, um, you know, playing as a rhythm that slowly changes is good for looping. That's what we learned, I think. Let's try it again on a different thing. So we got that loop. We've created about 5 loops, it looks like, or no, 4 loops. Yeah, let's try a fresh one. So the idea of like we started quick, and then we went slow. We could be like, let's maybe go quick, or no, let's go slow, quick, slow. Actually, no, let's make it very simple. Let's make it very, very simple. Very simple. Okay. This is what a loop pedal's for, I think. This audio is sick, or subtle. The subtle is sick. Yeah, bro. You sold my chair. No, my chair is beside me. For whatever reason, it just feels more playful and natural to sit on the floor. Yeah. This is kind of like, I like the bell and the guitar tool. Maybe try going a little harder on the vocals and speaking to my guitar. Interesting. I mean, maybe, yeah. Harder isn't necessarily better in this regard. But we could try. Let's try something. It's got a tail. gotta say, that tail end on that one is great. I think my voice is getting a bit dry. Damn though, that rocks. I'm gonna save that guy too. That's a good loop as well. Usually it's hard to kind of launch or lock in that. I feel like you can have fun with these high notes. Don't be afraid to hit those random ones no one expects. You have a lot of talent. Oh, thank you. Yeah, bro. I mean, the way it works usually is, um, yeah, I guess I'm a little bit apprehensive sometimes when I don't warm up my voice, of course. But I agree, the high notes are like piercing. And I usually achieve those kind of experimental sounds when I'm not on a stream. But you know what? Yeah, you know? I don't know. I need to definitely get some more water and matcha or cacao, I would say. A man in the bell. Yeah. Cheers. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Shane. Super stoked on those loops, bro. Loops are just getting more and more concrete, I must say. Literally by the minute. Hats off to loops. I'm gonna get some more cacao and be right back. I'll let my hat be the placeholder. I don't know. Cool. Let us maybe plug ourselves in. Let's get our phone maybe all charged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Huh. Very nice. Floyd Hunter is sharing some thoughts about his feel sometimes when I sing, I just hum, experiment, try notes I can sing. Yeah, yeah. Sure. I feel historically people often appreciate vocalizing for so many different reasons. Yeah, I think it's like people like to hear people being vulnerable and raw and, pushing themselves out of their comfort zone. Which singing, well, gotta flip this around 1 second. Which singing often does fall into that category. Plus, people just love, yeah, people just being raw and expressive. Yeah. I don't know. I've historically, I'll be honest, like, surely mental blocks aside, this should work. Oh, no, maybe not. There's a way to do this. I think we can post ourselves sick. That's cool. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for being here, Shane. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, and I hope for those and the homie Jacob earlier that was kicking it. I hope you know, some of these endeavors. Like I know even yesterday, I was busking and it was like an interesting. I'll be honest, watching it back, you'd probably never really know. I mean, I was vocal about, oh, word, the train, I'm distracted here, ah, damn, this, that. But you never really know how part of me had moments yesterday when I was busking where I was like, man, I'm not, I can't focus. I can't really like ease into this flow state. But I was embracing it, of course. Like I was like, you know what? I'm here to just playfully explore, be present. It's almost like you would basically not even know that I was not fully like locked in from hearing and seeing me perform and play. Like you'd be like, oh, this guy's doing pretty good, or it sounds pretty silky. In my mind's eye was constantly just like, you know, getting distracted and getting anxious at random times, like, oh, but that wasn't that great. Oh, but that was a mistake. It was very stupid. I'll be honest. It was very like rudimentary, but listening back to it, it was pretty stellar. But yeah, it's funny. The element of busking is such a unique parallel. But yeah, it's good to hear that, brother. I'm glad to hear you're feeling received, Hunter. I'm glad that your audience is appreciating your vocals. Yeah, and just go nuts, bro. I mean, if there's anything, I don't know if you guys know Crispy Concords. He's a YouTuber. He's got, a few million. He's just a dude. I don't know. I don't know exactly what he does. I think he's like a comedian slash streamer. I think he's a rapper or something, or does some sort of rap. I don't know. But he's an interesting dude. He's a nice guy. I like his energy. He talked a lot about, like, he was answering questions. Like, people are like, ask me one question, and he had all his fans asking questions. I think one of the fans was asking about, like, how do you succeed as a YouTuber? Like, he was like, this one dude was like, I'm 14 years old, I want to be a YouTuber. How do I start? Any advice you'd give to succeed as a YouTuber? And I remember he was just like, well, you're 14. That's when I started, Crispy saying. He's like, all right, well, you're already on the right track. But I would say, at that point, just have fun. No matter what, doesn't matter. Don't try to, like, blow up, or don't try to focus on succeeding at all, or literally, like, and he's even just saying point blank, he was like, even for himself as Crispy, he was like, I literally just made content that I had fun with, and, just generally try to have as much fun as I possibly can. And once a few things resonated with people, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll focus that. But for the longest time, he was just saying, it just simply, you just got to have fun. So literally, like, us YouTubers, it's an affirmation. I speak of that all the time. Like, it's a confirmation where I kind of confirm that and be like, hey, I think the key is to just have fun. Enjoy the process. Don't even think about metrics, algorithm, blowing up, making a living, full-time income. That, if that's going to happen, that will happen in a very lengthy process, or it will happen in a divine timing. It will happen in a timing that's very much out of your control. But what's in your control is being like, fuck it, I'm going to just have so much fun and be present and make this process genuinely enjoyable. Doesn't matter how it performs on the algorithm. It really doesn't. I really believe that. Now, of course, you want to be conscious to some degree. You want to be mindful, like, oh, you're a music niche, or you're a musician, or whatever. you do want to, lean into whatever your niche is to some degree. So you're obviously consistently developing a brand. But yeah, it's like if you wake up, you're like, fuck it, I want to sing. Like, I want to, I don't know, rock out and throw kicks and play electric guitar. You just do whatever that is, right? There's no like model to this. This is YouTube, right? You can do whatever the fuck you want, really. Like, you're not confined necessarily, and especially when you're new, you're like the opposite of confined. You're unrooted. You're just like this like, target on a spinning dartboard, or you gotta like, yeah, you got no real model to lock you in, which is, it's a powerful positive, I'd say. It's almost like I think in some sort of grand scale or scheme, it's a powerful blessing to not blow up, not be, reaping the massive fortitude of success in YouTube when you are on the path, on the road. It's almost like, what a beautiful blessing. If you're to look back, like, wow, I got millions of subscribers, and you're like, whoa, those moments where I only had a few thousand or 5, 10,000, those are powerful, extraordinary, playful times. They're playful, experimental times for joy. That's how I think it should be perceived as. Because when you eventually hit a point, I mean, it's going to be fun and amazing and life-changing if that's your path. And you're like, yeah, I've blown up. I'm doing this as a living. I'm blessed. It's going to be a different journey. It'll be a different journey. It'll be a blessing nonetheless. But what a unique blessing it is to be exactly where you are, where you have the playful, experimental nature that you can just have as much fun as you desire. Or not. If you're just like, you know what, I don't want to do this, and then you're just like, let's go. Right? I love the song, but I know words, so I just make up alien instruments with my mouth. Yeah, I think the essence of what I was trying to kind of articulate is, for me, and I'll be honest, this hasn't changed a whole lot. Vocalizing. Like, if I were to be like, all right, let's play an original vocal song or cover, which I could do, that to me is sacred. That's like therapy for me. That's catharsis. I'm not gonna change that quintessentially for anything, really. I'm not gonna be like, oh, but my catharsis is now gonna become, my performance act, or I'm gonna make it a streaming dynamic. For me, no, it's sacred catharsis. Like, when I write original songs that are about, like, my soul's path and my healing journey and my love life and, I don't know, interpersonal stuff, that is like pure magic that is connecting me to like a sacred portal. I don't necessarily want to share that casually, being like, hey guys, I'm gonna entertain you guys with, I don't know, my sacred heartfelt expression. That's catharsis for me. For me, I don't want to bridge those worlds. That's like a boundary for me, where like for some people that's all they do. They're just like, I write songs, and here's my vocal song about my heart's purpose and my breakup and my life's struggles, and that's cool, bro. Like, that's beautiful. For me, that's sacred catharsis. I do that all the time, but I do not put it on streams. I do not intend to share it as content. Maybe I'll release it through a studio recording, and when I'm like touring or in a certain place in my life, I'll be like, yeah, you know what? Here's some little, gold nuggets for you to understand about my musical journey. But I don't really desire to be like, hey, I'm just going to sing for you guys because blah, 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 blah. Like, that's like sacred catharsis for me. It's a sacred boundary that I set within myself. And honestly, as much as I've tried to put that in perspective, like, it's just sing, it's just songs, it's just originals. For me, that's how it is. Like, when I'm on like psilocybin or DMT, and I'm like going through some of the most challenging struggles of my life, that's sacred catharsis. And I keep that between me and myself. Like, that's for me. That's sacred to me. And of course, all of this, like, guitar is also sacred to me. But I've also been a guitarist for like 17 years. I've been a vocalist for like 5, 6 years. So, a lot different of an evolution. But we all have our own sort of ways, It's funny because I always loathed people who were on YouTube until I started. Quite the irony, Wow. Who are YouTubers? That's crazy, bro. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks to have that belief. I don't know. I've always romanticized the shit out of YouTubers. I mean, maybe it's the type of YouTubers that you saw versus the YouTubers that I saw, but bro, like, most of the YouTubers that I look up to, that I knew like 8, 9 years ago or whatever, when I was like, oh, I think I want to be a YouTuber, and like, maybe I'll dip into this. I like honored and respected and romanticized these people so much. Like, I was like, oh, like, and it wasn't even about like who they are or what they're doing. It was about their authenticity. It was about their passion. It was about their phase of action, their ability to influence people in a healthy and powerful way. Because the YouTubers that I watched, musicians, actors, psychonauts, philosophers, development coaches, men's coaches, those are the types of YouTubers that I watched. So those people I respect highly. I'll be honest, I rarely, if not ever, see YouTubers and I'm like, oh man, like I loathe that person. I honestly, even if there's a YouTuber that's like cringe to the max, I honestly can be like, you know what, they're doing their thing, whatever. Probably not someone I'll follow or support, but it's like, I don't know, I respect the shit out of YouTubers and the YouTube community as a whole. So being a YouTuber, as I am now, it's like, which is very, new, I feel good. I feel good about it. I'm like sick. Because I've respected and honored people for so long. What if my niece is jumping out of airplanes without a parachute? There's probably not a niche for that, dog. Yeah, there's probably no appeal for that. So let's be real here. In all honesty, too, like what I could kind of say concludingly is I use YouTube only for a particular few things. I use it for comedy, SNL skits, stand-up comedians. I use it for acting, perspective actors, learning about cinema acting. I use it for music, of course, listening to music, learning about music. I use it for development coaches, philosophy, psychology sometimes, and that's basically it. I have literally zero desire to use it as almost like a brain rot platform, which it could be. YouTube can be filled with nonsense, but my algorithm is not full of any of that. I've purposely oriented, it's all about, again, like self-development, which is like fitness, health, psychology, philosophy, comedy, which I love, and music, of course, and acting. It's literally, that's it. Not a single thing I watch on YouTube even falls in any other category. That's a pretty broad spectrum, but yeah. Let's use this beautiful loop again that we have here. So he plays the guitar. What if my niece is jumping out that? Yeah. Thing is, to me, I want everyone to master their own universe. Anyone able to create a cool environment and the people around them. Yeah, bro. Fair enough, Shane is Ninja. Rusty. I swear, I feel like Rusty, you're a dude that literally I banned already. Yeah, this exact name, Rusty Shackles. Maybe you're just another generic Rusty. But I feel like I've literally seen your name, seen you say some random stuff that is irrelevant and nonsensical and then banned you. So, welcome to the graveyard, brother. Welcome, Rusty. Welcome to the comment graveyard. You don't belong here, clearly. So have fun with that. Oh, no, we're putting it on timeout. We're hiding user from the channel. Congratulations, Rusty. You've been upgraded to observer, listener, if you will. Use that power wisely. Learn to listen, brother. Learn to observe. You're not a commenter anymore, no. That's out of your pay grade, so to speak. You are now an observer, a listener. You need to listen, absorb. This is a deeper metaphor for everything in life, brother. Hopefully you apply that. Because it's painfully obvious for those people in life who obviously, just don't take the time to just take a step back and, you know, just listen. Practice the art of listening. Yeah, bro, but I hear you, Shane. I agree, dog. Um, the epicenter of a lot of what I try to do in this channel, beyond just music, I sometimes like to talk and take you guys along when I'm chilling in forest and running and whatever and talking about somatics, somatic healing and running and whatever, right? I'm I'm a firm believer in people trying to tap into like expression, somatic expression, authentic expression, you know, authentic communication and etc. etc. Like, yeah, not someone you need to hear. Agreed. Yeah, no. The way I like to see it objectively is it's like if someone goes on a YouTube live stream and their executive decision is like, hey, the first thing that pops into my mind compulsively is to say something that's like, I don't know, passive or projective or is just irrelevant, nonsensical, exercises a lack of emotional intelligence, like from the get-go. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Like they hear music, they see a person, and they're like, all right, this is what I'm going to say. That person has no place in this channel. Like that person, yeah, they're not my target audience, respectively. That's YouTube for you. That's YouTube. It's kind of like what I used to say when I was new to YouTube. Often, if like a person says something outlandish, I'm just like, bro, you need to put down your phone and pick up your guitar. That's it. Like, that's it. That's the only advice, and the only thing I have to say is like, put down your phone. Like, you've had enough phone for today, and you need to pick up your guitar. That's it. Like, that's the key. That's the answer. Like, you just got to put down your phone and pick up your guitar. Practice. Get your shit together. Discipline yourself. Get better. Probably. Yeah. Anyway. Let's resume. So we've created loops where we went very gently, right? We created loops where we went like halftime. We went loops where we created like a very slow, perpetually slow cadence. We did loops where we started fast, went slow. Did loops where we went slow, then fast, then slow, then fast. So I don't know, what else can we do then in that? Huh. So I'm going to save this. We got about 6 loops saved. Or maybe 5 here, actually. What do you use to loop? Yo, I use this. Just a simple RC5 or RC3. Not even RC5. Yeah, I got this baby. RC3. So generic loop pedal, really cheap. Yeah. Hey, thank you, KC. Yeah. Let's do something a little more fun, I'd say. A little more untamed, less orthodox. That gets muddy. I remember why we don't do that necessarily. That has to be the lead riff. That has to be the lead riff. Because then it gets like too muddied. I have to change my entire sound setup. bad, not bad. Still a little bit imbalanced within that. Technically works. Not as lucid though. I think we're gonna sit up here. So my ankle's kind of sitting. Feels weird sitting on like that. I don't use delay. Sorry, I don't overlay. Okay, don't overlay. You have an Austrian tone. Really good. Nice. I thank you. Nice. Should I find one used? Sure. Yeah. Ian. Yeah, I mean, honestly, bro, yeah, you could find a good one on like Facebook Market. RC3, there's actually tons. I've looked it up. And they're pretty cheap. Like literally, I think new they're like $70. So you could find one used for like $50, $60 if that. And they're just all over the place because there's so many models that are like, there's so many loop stations and pedals that are just like, yeah, better. So the RC3 is easy to find. And it's just a generic loop pedal. You create one loop, you know, you loop on top of it. You can do multiple loops and thing. You got one, you know, little set. It's great. It's your basic loop pedal. It's just like what everyone starts with. Actually, what I should do is use a meditation cushion for this. This is what we should be doing. Yeah, that's way more natural for the legs. I'm not about the fire, the flare. I just want to play some arpeggios with that E minor. I am you got going. E minor jam. Maybe some taps, arpeggio. Yeah, you do you, guy. You do you. Yeah. And then bring it to the peak, and then back to software you're at. And then bring it back, software you're at. Bring it to a peak, and then bring it back. Again, I don't think I'm not sure if you understand. I'll take that blame, Justin. I just want to hear a little flair. I don't know, bro. I always find it entertaining, but valid. When people are like, yo, hold up. Like, take it back a notch. Like, oh, no. I don't want to hear the slap harmonics or the, you know, articulate or the artificial harmonic combos. They're like, no. I just want to hear a simple chord progression. And I hear ya, dog. We've all been 13 years old. Like, with all respect. I mean, more like when you're 20. We've all been 20-year-olds who are like exploring and navigating guitar here or there. You know, the peak was a chord progression or arpeggiation. I get you, brother. But I don't know. You hit a point where that becomes not boring, but that becomes a part of your arsenal, right? You know, you're like, yeah, I can do a simple. But then if you want to be like, you know what? At some point, you want to innovate. You want to create your own style. You want to do something that no one's done before. I don't know about you. Like, the whole reason my whole thing, bro, is I'm a musician that gets bored very easily. You know, when I was taught scales, and I was like, that bores me to fucking tears. And the only reason I even still am a guitarist to this day is because instead of doing the same thing everyone's done a billion times, I was like, I'm going to try to figure out something that no one's ever done. And that's, I don't know, maybe it's my ADHD brain. Maybe it's just, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I'm overstimulated because I'm a, millennial or whatever. But the idea is, brother, like, I don't know, the flair that you see is me making things novel and engaging for me. I play guitar for myself, brother. Like, I'm blessed to have you here. I'm blessed to have audiences and do whatever. But I play guitar for myself. I play the guitar to engage and enjoy the process. So, yes, I can play a simple chord. Anyone, I'm sure, it's beautiful. And I agree. The simple chord stuff, hey, bro, that stuff's magic. Don't get me wrong. But I'm going to spice things up. I'll flare things up.
as much as I desire all day long. And yeah, nothing's going to change that. And again, I'm playing guitar for 17 years, 11 years of this style. So it's gotten a bit to that point where this is what is organic and natural for me. Not to say I don't want to do gentle, soft things. Like if you were here 10, 20 minutes ago, I was literally doing extremely soft, very gentle, stuff flowing together, getting experimental. But yeah, bro, I'd say gain a little perspective, appreciate the nuances wherever they lie. But I mean, if not, again, all I can say is maybe, click on that stream, go back, click the little rewind button or whatever, like 10, 20 minutes back. And I'm sure you'll find those simple, gentle layers you're seeking or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. I play as well as your intros is where you're taking it back. I play as well as your intros is where you're taking it back. Okay. Get your shit together, my guy. I love you're going to do this and you're going to do it well. Interesting. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to hear. Good. But you got to build it up. Wow. Man. Wow. I don't know, Justin. I hear you, brother. Let me offer you some more unsolicited advice, Justin. Because welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my channel. This is my YouTube channel that I've obviously, chosen to create as a portal, as an intentional community. Welcome, Justin. So I'm going to give you some unsolicited advice to match your unsolicited advice. So please listen closely. So, for one, you're 13 years old, brother. You're 13 years old. I don't know what to tell you. The way you're communicating, the way you're trying to communicate, it's limited. You're 13, bro. Like, come on. Like, your brain is not even fully developed. So I'm going to give you credit. I'm going to give you credit. Your communication skills are a little bit lacking. Your ability to insinuate or, form ideas and share them in a way that's comprehensive is not fully fledged. I hear you, brother. That's great. But guess what? You're on my live stream, brother. So I'm going to just say this once. If you can't carry your thoughts in an emotionally intelligent way that's respectful, that's not this playful 13-year-old underdeveloped frontal lobe that's trying to throw out some jabs, be like, hey, bro, this, that, like almost like you're doing some weird backhanded compliment kind of thing. If you that's the way you desire to communicate, so be it, brother. You're still figuring it out. You're still figuring out humans and how to communicate. But that's actually going to cause you on my YouTube stream to have your comment rights revoked, invariably, because of the way that you've chosen to show up. So, food for thought. I don't know. You'll figure this out. You'll figure this out, Justin, because, you're young. You seem to have a bit of fire, and, you seem to believe you have all the answers figured out, more or less. Like, I'm just exaggerating about music. But you'll figure this out, brother. You'll collaborate. You'll actually develop as a musician. You'll do some cool stuff. And you'll figure out that maybe there's a better way to communicate, the way you're trying to communicate. So I'm confident you'll figure out. But as you are showing up on this live stream, you're showing up as an individual that I don't think deserves, you don't deserve to have space held for you on my stream. You hear me, right? Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah. People listen for him for 2 hours straight. Nah, bro, I mean, I hear you. Again, what you're saying is valid, but you're communicating in such a way where I don't think you even realize how you're appearing. It's almost like, I don't know, you're 13, bro, you're figuring it out, you're figuring out music, but feels like a lot of ego, feels like a lot of like you and a lot of not fully fledged perspective. It is what it is, honestly, no judgment, bro. You're 13, like you're an intelligent 13-year-old, you're gonna do great things, but are you someone that I actually want to hold space for on my stream? Are you someone that I want to entertain even on my stream? That I want to invite to my community? Probably not, Justin. Honestly, bro, like if I'm being perfectly transparent with you, I don't think you're someone that I want to enable to participate in this stream. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but learn to communicate a little better, or, read the room, figure out the nuances of, whatever it is you're trying to convey. Like, again, no judgment. Just, I'm facilitating a stream, brother. I can't have 13-year-olds, um, you know, poorly communicating and comprehending whatever it is they're trying to do. This it's just not the it's not the move, brother. This stream is more um, oriented for full-grown adults who have emotional intelligence and practice that. I just want to put that out there and take that any way you will, right? And it's cool. I get you. It's out of love. It's maybe not coming from a place that's anything but, you're just trying to comprehend and communicate the best you can. But I'm also just comprehending and reflecting back to you the way you're being received, brother. Oh, you said 13. Well, that's even worse if you're 32, bro. Well, I'm gonna be present here with my stream, but again, you realize that I have to facilitate a stream. This isn't about me and you in the real world. And hey, bro, you're limited. Again, you're 13, you're 32, whatever, bro. You're a dude typing on a screen. But I'm saying is I do what's the best interest for the community and the stream community I'm building. So if you don't fit that model, it's all good, brother. Like, I invite you to enjoy your YouTube experience and go somewhere else. Anyway, so we're on number 8. We're crafting this loop here. So what we've been kind of establishing is, I like this loop that we're doing this thing. I think we're going to take a page from what we're doing here, about 20, 30 minutes ago. It's mixing in different rhythmic cadence is. I don't know. No. Yeah. I don't know. I hear you. I mean, nothing. Well, we'll write it off as a we'll write it off as a comprehension or communication issue, Justin. I don't know, bro, but it just seems like there is a level of like incongruence that I'm sensing here. Not to like again, this isn't about me and you. This isn't about you and me in the real world. Like, hey, it's like humans will be humans, but I have a level of like let's say discernment and boundaries that I like to set. Like if a person's showing up and they're already displaying like defunct levels of emotional intelligence or communication, I basically just write them off. Like I literally be like, nope, just remove comment sections, just respect, out of respect to not fill the comment section with incomprehension. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, and again, like, it's great you've been in music studios or you play music every single, like, honestly, bro, as one musician to another, like, you're killing it, dog. Like, I commend you, like, genuinely. But that's not what this is about. We're in a stream space. This is my stream. I'm trying to curate a community of people, that is congruent. So if one person's sitting here like, not fully aware of how to, communicate their thoughts or be like, it's just, I can read that from a mile away. I've been doing this streaming for like, not that long, like 7-8 months, but I can kind of tell those that don't really practice, a little bit of self-awareness when they're speaking. I appreciate, again, you practicing a bit of self-awareness. Like, okay, we got on the raw phone. That's cool, brother. It's just, I'm just reading, I'm getting a bit of a weird energy from the way you're trying to unpackage your thoughts. And again, who knows, dog? Maybe it's a communication issue. I get it, dog. You're typing on a computer. I don't know. Maybe you're, you know, dealing with stressors. I don't know, bro. Yeah. I agree. Play some more. Love the video music vibe today. Thank you, Larry. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, no, honestly, I'm having a blast with these D sharp loops. Like, honestly, I feel really happy about it. I mean, innately, we're at hour 48. I think we're probably going to have to close this stream in the next, like, 5-10 minutes. I'm heading down. I got some plans. I have things I need to do. But yeah, I've been super happy with what has been flowing through with these loops. I think we've got a couple clips that I would be proud to release earlier on when I was like 20-30 minutes in the stream. Yeah, so pretty stoked. And stuff that I think, you know, I hopefully tomorrow, kind of as I labeled the title of the stream, I would love to go to the Catalano Street Festival tomorrow. If we're feeling bold, if we're feeling strong, I think we're going to bring our busking setup and go to the Street Fest and attempt our first street festival. And what I mean by that is I'm just going to go to the frickin' waves of thousands of people, find a spot that I think situates or serves my dynamic, and try to busk and live stream, which may go well, may not go well, I don't know. There's a chance it might not, I don't know. There's also a great chance it might go exceedingly well. So, I don't know. All I know is tomorrow's Catalano Street Festival. Our loops are feeling stronger than ever. You know, some nice meditative styles. I'm feeling good about that. Can you play some more? I'd be happy to. Yeah. I guess I never really asked the end of the goal of the mind with this song. It sounds like a George R. Michael. Wow. Yeah, no, obviously, what I'm doing here, as I kind of underlined, is pretty simple. I'm in D sharp open. And I'm, you know, playing around with loop pedals, which I don't do a whole lot, but I have been the last like 3-4 days. And I'm attempting to play around with different rhythmic cadences in my loops. You know, just that's it. My style personally is pretty greatly influenced from, I would say, elements of Lord of the Rings, Skyrim, what's it called? Like maybe The Last of Us, kind of in some elements. A lot of movie scores, basically. Movie scores and video game scores. That's literally what I intuitively draw influence from, like Hans Zimmerman stuff. That's what's playing in my brain most of the time. And it's all improv. It's all improv. I'm not like writing a song that I've been working on. This is all pure improv. 90% of it I've never done at all in any capacity. I mean, I use this chord, of course, but never really in D sharp. D sharp. So this is just our D sharp. You know, I'm just improvising and seeing what flows through, and it's working good. It's working good. Yeah. So we're gonna focus our energy onto that. Love the video, but thank you so much, Larry. Yo, thank you, Shane. Much love. Reconnect and connect. Thank you. My left-handed. No, I'm actually right-handed. I think it flipped. Yeah. Yeah. Much love to everybody listening. Who's listening and playing. Nice. Interesting. Yeah, man. Some musical knowledge and insight. I'm from Indiana, travel the continent, playing music. Interesting. Yeah. Like I said, played for the biggest and smallest music industry. Yeah, this is getting weird, Justin. Honestly, I'm gonna make the executive decision and remove your comment rights, Justin. Again, this isn't about you and me, but I can already see where this is going. I've dealt with enough human beings that you've already revealed your hand. Like if we're playing poker here, Justin, we were like playing a card game, and you sat down on the table and you're just like laid down your entire hand. So I get it. I'm reading into what you're saying. I'm reading into what you're not saying, but you've already said enough. So thank you for being here, Justin. You're free to observe and listen if you desire, but honestly, brother, I don't think you possess the emotional intelligence, to hold space for the stream respectively. And again, it is what it is, bro. All I can say is I respect and commend you on your musical endeavors. Ashe, bravo, to Justin, and yeah, bro, you let this be, just take it with a grain of salt. All I was trying to say from the start, this wasn't me having a personal issue with you. It's like, let this be, if you're gonna pop on a stream and carry yourself, it's okay, brother. Like this is a YouTube live stream, bro. This isn't the real world. Let me make this clear. This isn't you and me in the real world. I'm not sitting here and be like, oh man, this guy. You made the executive decision to enter my live stream space. This is my channel. This is my community. It's a sacred space to me. I really feel that I hope you, can look back and be like, maybe, I don't know, offering unsolicited advice about that or this. Maybe that wasn't the move. Maybe that wasn't like the move. To introduce yourself, to enter on the right foot. I don't know. It's all good, brother. Like honestly, nothing but love to you and nothing but respect, one musician to another. But I'm as a YouTuber facilitator to an audience member. Hopefully, in the next time you enter a YouTube stream space, you can take a step back. Breathe some life into whatever you're trying to say. Speak with intention. Speak with whatever self-awareness. I don't know. Just do whatever you desire. Or that's up to you, brother. But yeah, that's I've seen where this is going. Like trust me, I've been streaming for enough time that you revealed your cards again in a nice metaphor. You revealed your hand. You literally laid out your hand clearly of what your intentions are, your prerogative is, and it's not even what you said. It's what you didn't say. It's what the I'm reading into the way what you're actually saying and implying and interpreting, and it's I don't know. It is what it is, brother. No judgment. Just you're not really worth the energy. Yeah, but with that, I would love to resume back to what we were doing here. So basically, yeah, as we've been kind of trying to underline, or have been underlining, we've been trying to experiment a little bit with some loop stuff. And honestly, I'm really enjoying the potential. I think even what I've been kind of do from the start of this stream was just, feeling like what would happen if I continue to lean into this D sharp. So we're an open D sharp here. Yeah. Careless Whisper vibe. Bad chi clogs creative. Not cool. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's not rocket science. Like, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been sitting in the stream space, for X amount of time. I was streaming for like 4 hours a day for like 5-6 months. And, you get to see the little patterns of like, if a person pops in a stream and they're like already from the get-go, offering unsolicited advice, projecting little, having little communication comprehension issues. It is what it is. Again, I want to make this clear. It's not a personal endeavor. In the real world, we're all flawed human beings. We're all imperfect human beings. But if this is a curated space that I'm like, hey, like we're all here to just like, practice emotional intelligence and whatever. I don't know, homie sailed that ship 20 minutes ago or whatever. Like, I think he just kind of revealed that, I don't know, he just didn't really have that capacity at this time. And I wish him the best. Like, I wish him the best. But this is a YouTube stream. This isn't the real world. This isn't me versus Justin. This is facilitator of YouTube space versus audience member. Just making an executive decision. And again, with love, I hope the homie can look at it and be like, You know what? Next time I enter a streamer space, maybe, I don't know, maybe don't offer unsolicited advice. You know, I'm cool with criticism. I'm cool with people being like, hey, dog, like, let's go. Maybe try this thing. Hey, try this. Or, oh, you're doing this wrong or this right. That's cool, bro. I'm all for criticism. But, yeah, maybe not just, like, do that the first thing and then just, like, blabber off and then, I don't know. There was a lot of weird little crossed wires. But it is what it is. We're going to return to this domain of presence. Let's try something. Let's try something a little different here. I think we're gonna need a BIM 5. This for they come and triggered. Yeah, and honestly, who knows? Like again, I kind of already articulated at the start to the homie. Who knows? Maybe he literally said he was 13. Like I don't know why he was just like I'm 13, something something. So I was like, okay, that's cool. But I was like, yeah, maybe he's just stressed. Like, dude's stressed, struggling, doesn't have the strongest comprehension ability. That's okay. But all that considered, like, I don't know. That's, you know. But again, we're here for fully grown, more or less people practicing some emotional intelligence. You don't have to be a freaking rocket scientist, but I don't think I'm here to babysit people's egos necessarily. All right, that was cool. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, let's save that. This is what we want to do. I think I was a little out of tone there. Let's try that again. The smoke, I think, is making my voice a little hoarse. A little bit. Yeah, that was a pretty dope, I'd say. More patient than I would have been. I'm feeling patient today, let's be real. That's what we want. That's what we want. Magic. This is what we're doing. Well, that's cool. We're saving that. Yeah, I'm coming to see. This is like the first time in a long time. Probably like months. that I've really come to appreciate loops. Like, really be like, damn. Like, I see in front of my eyes this insane amount of potential in loops. And it's particularly helpful because I think when you're busking, particularly, especially if you're busking in like a large audience, you know, big crowds of people, it's extremely helpful to lean into the details. Like, you know, if you're playing a song and then you're like, okay, we're going to stop and play a pan flute and then stop and do that, people walking away, walking from you or walking by you, they only get like a couple seconds, you know, like 3 or 4 or 5 seconds unless they stop to hear the little blips of the fluency of what you're doing. And I think looping is an extraordinary way to make those 2-3 seconds so memorable, where they're just like, oh, they're like, whoa, like they hear like a fluency, and then they're like drawn in, and then from there you can do whatever you want. You're just like, oh, I got them, and then you can freaking go nuts. But I think that's what I'm really attracted with looping, is if I can get really good at looping and, you know, make it sound pretty coherent, I think that's a magical way of making those couple seconds count, where people will be like, oh yeah, like that was worth my 5 seconds. Yeah. Hey. Sick. Yeah, man. Those vocal loops are doing it. Could you play the riff where you did sleep, when you did sleep last night? Play a little of the riff where you did sleep last night. Wait, what? Sleep last night. The riff? You mean the riff that I recorded and played in my short? I think it's very similar to that one. I don't know. It's a Yamaha APX 600. Just a Yamaha APX, brother. Why, thank you. Thank you, Bedroom Grudge. Or thank you, Chisholm. Have you slapped harmonic 12 frets away from your finger note? Yeah, yes I do. That's one of my favorite ways, bro. Like triggering that. Yeah, excellent stuff. I love that you leaned into that, brother. Yeah, to Chisholm. That's an excellent. I love using those artificial harmonics and slapping them. Yeah, super dope. That was better the second time with vocals. Yeah, bro, 100%. That felt good. That was like, yeah. I wish the second one, I think I didn't record, like the really strong one, the like so. But I think we're gonna wrap up here because I got stuff to do in the real world. Inspire me to keep pushing with my music the way you don't stop. The grind is impressive. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Dark Force. That's what I'm trying to do here. Definitely, bro. I mean, honestly, since COVID, I swear, I may have talked about this briefly. I'll kind of make this as a concluding note, and then I gotta head out. But the idea is that before COVID, you know, was a musician, of course, still. But I had a sort of inkling where I was like, I was splitting my time a lot. You know, naturally, I was a full-time like I trained martial arts and had for like, 6 7 years, and would train like 3 days a week. I was going to college. I was juggling like a part-time slash full-time job like 3 days a week, and being a guitarist and a musician. And yeah, I kind of like, it wasn't until COVID happened where I answered that sort of question that I had sort of sitting in my uh, the forefront of my being, where I was like, what would happen if I just devoted myself fully to being a musician? Like, I was always curious. I was like, because I'm always juggling my time and splicing to multiple things, and I still do nowadays. But when COVID happened, all I did for like 3 years, all I did was write music, develop as a musician, do lots of shadow work, do lots of mushrooms, do lots of running. But I was like locked in, where I spent so much time developing as a musician. And literally since that period, I never stopped. It was literally like I began to surface, part of it was like me being like, oh, I can actually do this. Like, I'm not only like good at music, or I think I can do this. It was like my belief was crystallized, where I was like, oh, I'm meant to be a full-time musician. Like, clearly I'm meant to do some things musically. It's going to take time, but it was like that was the point in my life, around COVID and through the pandemic, where I was like, oh, like I got something special here. I want to offer this musical sphere. And yeah, as a full-grown adult, it's been like 5 6 years since that period or whatever. That's the sort of instilled belief where I've kind of made that transition, where my mind is like, oh, like I desire in every right to devote myself fully to being a musician. Now, since then, of course, I have many things to juggle. I spent like 2 years training, fire performance and acrobatics and parkour, and it was like splicing up my time, and that was like about a year and a half ago. But since I decided to become a YouTuber, 11 months now, pretty much exactly, since I was like, all right, I'm a YouTuber, made this channel, devoted my time fully, that has lit my musical inspiration and passion on fire. I've never before, being a YouTuber, have literally devoted sometimes 4 or 5 hours a day writing music, recording content, streaming, like nonstop. It's like a grind. And I'll be honest, since I've been doing that, and I've been like, yeah, like I'm switched on. Obviously, I'm a human being. I got to take days sometimes. Sometimes I take weeks, to just recalibrate and honor my health and do what I need to do for my life and my spiritual health. But the reality is, since I've devoted myself to be a musician, I'm like, yes, like I know that this is what I can do. It's not like a forced process. I'm a firm believer that, especially now, as I'm like, okay, my YouTube channel's getting traction. I'm making some money here and there. I'm making strides in my busking um, act. I'm seeing these pieces come together. I'm like, oh, all I got to do is like, there's a role that I can successfully play as the musician that I am, that just needs to keep going. Like, it's almost like if I just keep showing up as a YouTuber, as a musician, as a busker, as a sound healer, these are going to emerge into powerful things. And the more I do it, the more I get these mirrors. I get reflections. Human beings come up to me often when I'm busking or in the real world, and they're just like, wow. They're like, this is so beautiful, or like, I love what you're doing, or whatever. And it's those kind of things where I haven't like fully emerged into my whole music career path. But I know for a fact that I know that I need to just keep showing up. I don't know exactly fully why. Some days I just got to do it. I don't know. I just got to show up. And I think it's a homage to me making that distinction, a number of years back, and being like, okay, what would happen if I fully was all in as a musician? And the answer was I just got a little better. I got a little better. My style got a little more developed. I got more inspired. And then from there on, it became about, okay, then how can I show up and have people mirror to me how my music makes them feel and impacts them? And then that is more so what's been inspiring me. It's like, oh, even if I'm having the best day of the world, worst day of the world, there's people out there that just love to see me trying. Even if I just botch everything, they're just like, oh, that is great. And that, in many rights, is what makes me really inspired to be like, okay, I'm just gonna keep on doing this no matter what. If that makes sense. I don't know, it's a lot. If you stopped a harmonic 12 frets away. Oh, yes. Slapped harmonic. Yes. Love that. COVID drove me to my complete doctorate degree. Yeah, honestly, that's the thing is like, I gotta bounce. I gotta put a close to the stream right quick. But reality is, COVID is an insane experience. It was for all of us, absolutely. But for me, it was probably the most powerful, spiritual, creative, and psychological experience ever. Like really, I would have never. COVID was a blessing, strangely, for me. Like in many ways. Now, obviously, it was not fun. Like I really disdained being so isolated and alienated. It really like, in many ways, it just split my psyche wide open. But it also evolved me, as a musician, as a human. And I was ready for that. Like when COVID happened, the first day that the pandemic, the lockdown happened, I was literally in full surrender. I literally remember vividly. I like woke up one day and was like, oh, apparently everyone has to isolate and no one can go anywhere. And I just laughed and was just like, okay. I was like, okay. If nothing matters, no routine matters, nothing has ever mattered, ever will matter now, moving forward, everything is unwritten. Everything is random. Like I remember I woke up and was like, well, I don't have to go to work. Can't go train martial arts. Can't go to college. Can't go see human beings. Well, I'm going to do anything. I went for a run. Freaking wrote music in the forest for a few hours. Did some mushrooms. Philosophized. Started to piece together the idea of being a YouTuber. Like my brain just flipped. It was like surrendered. It was like full surrender. Don't care. It was like, oh, society shut down. Nothing matters. I was like, nothing matters. And I completely surrendered to chaos. Like that's the kind of the way I saw it. It was like there was a level of like chaos of like, oh, wait a second. My structure of my paradigm, which was very rigorous. It was like fucking, wake up at like 4 a.m, do mushrooms, bike to work, go home from work, write music, go train martial arts, 3-4 days a week. Like it was rigorous. It was intense. I'd take nootropics. I was like really in an intense place. All of that changed. I was like, okay, nothing matters. I was like, nothing matters. So I was like, I'm going to create the most unstructured structure that ever was. Like that was what I told myself on day one. I was like, nothing matters. Now the structure that I exist out of is unstructured. It's chaos. It's nonsense. I can do whatever I want, anytime, everywhere, all the time. And I embraced that. And it was wild. It was weird. But yeah. Very fun stuff. Everyone hoarded toilet paper. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I would never want to do that again, the COVID thing. But damn, was it a blessing. Damn, like, it was insane. I mean, surely, I'll be honest here, in the simplest right, I cannot think of any reality that could have garnered the potent lessons that COVID forced me to experience. Shadow work to the most extreme degree. Music evolution to the most extreme degree. Like full surrender and commitment, stripping away my social constructs, stripping away my social circle, resetting my neurochemistry, like fully embracing, psilocybin protocol, learning to songwrite, fully embracing the pathway of being a musician. Like those are things that I would have never done. Never. Like I was freaking juggling like 4 or 5 different life purposes. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to maybe become a nutritionist and a movement coach and a trainer and then be an acrobat performance artist, but also a rock star. And like my brain was like juggling all these different things before COVID. And then when COVID happened, I was like, nope, full surrender. And what translated into me being like, oh, wait a second. Sound healer, YouTuber, freaking, all these little emergences of what my path was that felt way more organic than it ever did. It just began to emerge. It's very weird. And of course, lots of mushrooms. Anyways, I have to probably make my way. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Hopefully we'll see how this day unravels. I feel like tomorrow there's a great chance we'll do our street festival busking session. I don't know how that will go. It may crash and burn. It may go very well. I don't know. Really, I don't know. Probably will go well. I don't know. We've been preparing a lot the last like few days, but we'll see. Thank you for the insights. Thank you, Psych Doc. Thank you. Thank you for listening. I just want to say, like, I mean, I kind of expressed this yesterday. Extremely, extremely grateful for the support that, you know, I'll probably gonna make a post about this just at some point, you know, to commemorate. But like, you know, on many levels, I feel really, really grateful, formally and informally, for the support that I've been receiving. Like, you know, I can't express enough. You know, the people that have been really just like sending, you know, sincere support, be it if it's your presence, but be it like the people, the multitude of people that have been donating to my Ko-Fi, and, you know, just giving me this like net, this fallback net of resource and just inspiration to be like, oh man, like I feel so blessed and received to know that I can go out and busk, but I don't have to necessarily make money. Like I don't have to validate my worth with dollar bills, and to feel like, you know, people just want to invest and support my vision, you know, my music. That feels extremely powerful, and I can't even express enough how grateful I am. So I really just want to, you know, say a special thank you to Chad and to Moonstars. Those two have been just gems, and honestly, I mean, beyond, of course, anyone and everyone that's been showing up, and of course the people in the real world that have, like, you know, been fortunate to cross my path and give me tips or whatever. It's just, it's great. It's like the money is money. The money is materialism, or is material, but I can't express enough how, like, those incentives, like me being like, oh man, like that's an incentive to just like push myself from my comfort zone. That's an incentive to be like, oh wow, like I don't have to validate my self-worth, you know, in such a way where it's like, you know, it's hard to express, but it goes a long way. So thank you so much for you guys that have been supporting this channel, and yeah, I'm not a good singer. Got any advice on how to learn to sing? Wow. I mean, that's a deeply woven parallel. I'm not really a singer. I mean, I consider myself a good singer and have been for like 6 years or 7 years. But singing's a tricky one. I'm more of a guitarist. That's my specialty. I'm a composer. Like, I consider myself, some people are like, oh, I'm a singer. That's my thing. That's my choice. As a, you know, musician, I'm a composer and a guitarist. Like, those are my strengths, my specialties. I can teach it. I can talk about it all day. I can play it all day. I specialize in that. Singing is not that for me. That being said, you know, I think I've learned a lot about singing the last 7 years or so. And I would simply say, you just have to feel it and sing from the heart. Because I think there's nothing more fragmenting than just singing without heart, without expression, without soul. Now, how you do that on a fundamental level is you have to just do it. You got to learn to sing. You got to develop technique. You know, you got to let yourself learn your unique voice and figure it out by and by. Just like anything, you got to learn and just do it. But I'd say for singing, it's a unique entity where, in my experience, time again and again, singing is not about just singing. You're not just like making noises. You're singing from your heart. It's the same way I play guitar. I don't play guitar because I want to play a scale over and over again. For me, guitar is more like what has allowed me to actually succeed at it and continuously show up for it is I play my guitar from my heart, from almost like a soulful channel. Like that's more what has allowed me to do it for as long as I do. I don't try to do it because I'm trying to be as cool or egoic or, you know, be like I'm better than anything. No, I do it because it feels good and expresses something really powerful. And the more I lean into that, the more I succeed at it because I show up and do it. And I think singing is the same. Singing is like, but even more so, because you're accessing something that's so human, so penetrating, so raw, and so cathartic. So if you can sing with heart and soul and make it real and make it emotionally charged and feels good to you, that's all you really got to focus, I would say. But I don't know. It's a complex thing. Again, I think it's important to acknowledge, as a musician, you should never box yourself in. You know, if you're like, but I really just want to be a singer and be the best singer in the world, maybe you're not meant to be a singer. Not saying that is the case, but maybe you're meant to be like a freaking saxophone player or a pianist alongside a singer. Maybe you're also meant to be, I don't know, a rapper, if you want to be a rapper. Like, right, I think part of being a musician is is actually being like multi-dimensional with your creative expression. It's never being like, I just got to focus on singing and therefore I'm a better singer. It's like you got to explore all the creative avenues. Like I'm a better guitarist because I'm a pan flute artist. I'm a better singer because I'm a pan flute artist. I'm a better guitarist because I'm also a pianist. Um, I have all these different avenues that all complement each other. So who knows what's going to make you a better musician? I'm a firm believer, and this is how I approach guitar fundamentally, is you need to learn how to motivate yourself indirectly. Basically, one of the most powerful motivators and creative waves of energy is from indirect activation. That is, basically, sometimes the way to do something is to not do it directly. You have to basically indirectly stream creative energy from something else into that thing. It's like if you're like, but I just gotta sing and it's not flowing. Well, maybe pick up guitar or piano or I don't know, whatever you want to do, and then you stream that energy into that. It's never about like forcing the process. You gotta like organically learn the art of sort of surrendering to the flow of creative energy. And sometimes that's literally being like, I don't even want to do this thing, and go dance or something. Go dance or lift some weights or do whatever, maybe write poetry and stream that creative energy into that thing indirectly. That is probably one of the most powerful things I think one has to harness if you ever want to really like awaken certain creative dimensions. And yeah. So anyways, food for thought. I am in British Columbia, Canada, brother or sister. It seems like you're on the path, JD. Seems like you're on the path, dog. You've blessed us as well with your music and your genius spirit. Oh, thank you. It's been a good day. But as we are, we should probably bounce. So thank you so much for being here. Deeply appreciate the support as you are. Feel free if you desire to. I don't know where my card is. I got a Ko-Fi, or this is it. I don't think it even matters to see it. This is Ko-Fi. If you feel so inclined, it's Ko-Fi, A-S-E, Ko-Fi. But yeah, with that, thank you so much for being here. And remember to honor yourself and honor each other. Bless. Surrendering to the muse has helped a lot with music composition. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing I could talk about all day long. But yeah, magic. Thank you so much for being here. And have a good day and a good night and a good life, as Wim Hof would say. Bless. Ashe. Oh.